everyone, I've been getting a lot of questions about the new Kakuno, and I briefly covered this in a recent What's in My Pin Case video, but I wanted to clarify a few things about it. So first of all, Kakuno recently came out with the extra fine nib size. Now, if you're used to European fountain pens, the Japanese extra fine would be like an extra fine. So for people like me who love super fine tips, I absolutely love it. If you're used to the Pilot penmanship pen, that one has an extra fine nib. If you already use the Kakuno and you like the fine and want to try to go finer, this might be something for you to try. But it also is something that's, if you know you don't like fine, I would not recommend this unless you have a specific use for it. So what they did was they came out with the extra fine nibs, and they came out with them in the soft colors. So they're not making the extra fine in those gray bodied, brighter color cap ones, but just the pastel right now. And then they're also making the extra fine in the new transparent bodies. And this transparent body is available in all three sizes: extra fine, fine, and medium. I realize some of you watching this video might not be that familiar with the Kakuno, and the way they market the Kakuno in Japan is as like a beginner or a starter fountain pen. So they market it like this is for people who are using their first fountain pen. However, people in Japan, people all over the world, fountain pen lovers really like this fountain pen. They say it's a good quality for the cost. I am definitely not a fountain pen expert, but I do like fountain pens. I do have a lot of them, and I love the Kakuno. And it is the fountain pen I most often recommend to people, especially people that don't want to spend like $50 or more on a fountain pen, because this one's in like the $16 range. So it is, definitely our best-selling fountain pen. So I highly recommend trying the Kakuno if you've been feeling like, oh, I want to try a fountain pen, but I'm kind of like nervous about it, because it really is pretty like user-friendly. It comes with the disposable cartridge, any of the Pilot cartridges. They are proprietary in size, so you can't stick like an international standard refill on there. You'll need the Pilot cartridges. But what I like to do is use a converter, and this leads me into another new Pilot fountain pen product and also a frequently asked question, and that is about the Converter 70. So the Converter 70 is the newest converter by Pilot. It is super cool in that it is a pump. So you would stick this in your fountain pen just like you would any other Pilot converter. And what I'm going to do is post a link below to a really good like how to start using a fountain pen guide, so that you, like, for those of you who have never done this before, you'll have some kind of direction. So you can look at my description below and I'll link to that. I'm not gonna get out the ink right now. So the other super cool thing about this a converter, besides the fact that it's pumped, and probably the coolest thing about it, is it holds like twice as many mils as the Converter 40, which is the one that's like currently listed as compatible with this fountain pen. So because Pilot doesn't list the Converter 70 as compatible with the Kakuno, I get a lot of questions from people are like, oh, I heard you could do that, is that true? And I can tell you, because I do it, that it absolutely is true. And it's gonna enable you to hold a lot more ink in your Kakuno than the Converter 20. And also, it looks pretty cool inside your Kakuno, because if you get the transparent one, you're able to see your ink color, which I really like. So I'm pretty excited about the transparent. I highly recommend the medium if you're like, well, I really don't want a fine tipped fountain pen. And the reason I say that is because a Japanese medium is really like an international fine. So, the thickest you can get in the Kakuno for some people is still gonna feel pretty fine. So if you're unsure and totally brand new and not sure if you'd like a super fine nib, try the medium. But you do have choice here. And I am very excited about all the new offerings in the Kakuno. I'm especially excited about the Converter 70. And I welcome your questions. If you have any, please post them below. And if you're brand new to fountain pens, be sure to check out my link to a guide below. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.